The Grand Canyon is one of the most breathtaking places on Earth. It's a natural wonder so massive and powerful that it has become a symbol of time, change, and nature's raw force. Located in northern Arizona, the canyon stretches for 277 miles from east to west. At its widest point, it spans 18 miles, and at its deepest, it plunges over a mile, more than 6,000 feet down to the Colorado River that carved it. When you stand at its rim, you are looking at something truly ancient, something that took millions of years to form and will likely continue to change for millions more. What makes the Grand Canyon even more fascinating is that it acts like a giant time machine. The walls of the canyon are made up of rock layers that go back nearly 2 billion years. Each stripe of color and type of rock tells the story of a different age. Some layers formed under ancient oceans. Others formed in deserts. Still others were created by volcanic activity or deposited by rivers long gone. Geologists have identified about 40 major rock layers, stacked like pages in an enormous, open book. And each of those pages records a different environment in Earth's long history: hot seas, tropical forests, sand dunes, and floods. The Colorado River, which still flows at the canyon's bottom today, is the mighty force that shaped all this. But it didn't do it alone or all at once. Most scientists believe that the process began about 5 to 6 million years ago, though some parts of the canyon may be even older. And interestingly, recent research suggests that the Grand Canyon didn't form from one continuous cut by the river. Instead, it may be the result of several smaller canyons that developed independently, and then were later connected as the Colorado carved deeper. This theory continues to be studied, but it reveals how complex and mysterious this natural formation really is. Despite looking dry and lifeless from above, the Grand Canyon holds an incredible variety of life. In fact, it's one of the most biologically diverse areas in the United States. There are more than 1,700 types of plants, about 90 species of mammals, over 450 species of birds, and dozens of reptiles, amphibians, and insects. Some animals, like the desert bighorn sheep, are perfectly adapted to the steep, rocky slopes. They can leap from ledge to ledge with stunning agility, escaping predators and finding food in places that seem unreachable. Then there's the mountain lion, also known as the cougar or puma, a master of stealth and solitude. These big cats roam the canyon mostly at night, silently patrolling their territory. Though rarely seen by humans, they leave behind tracks and signs of their presence. Overhead, the California condor, one of the rarest birds in the world, soars with wings that can stretch nearly 10 feet. These birds were once almost extinct, with only 22 individuals left in the wild. Thanks to bold conservation efforts, there are now over 500 condors, and many fly freely over the Grand Canyon once again. Birds are everywhere here. Ravens, known for their intelligence, play and steal with incredible cleverness. Peregrine falcons dive from great heights to catch prey in midair. Ospreys use their sharp eyes to spot fish in the river and dive feet first to catch them. The acorn woodpecker drills holes in trees to store food, working together in family groups with surprisingly complex social rules. Swallows nest in cracks along the cliff walls and glide over the river to drink on the wing. Even the insects and reptiles here are remarkable. Some lizards have evolved pink or red coloring to blend into the canyon walls. Others can flatten their bodies to hide in the cracks. Ants build elaborate tunnel systems, and butterflies find water in the smallest trickles between rocks. Every creature here has a role in this ecosystem, and each one has developed unique ways to survive in the heat, cold, wind, and scarcity of water. The Grand Canyon also has a rich human history. People have lived in and around the canyon for at least 12,000 years. The earliest known inhabitants were nomadic hunter-gatherers, followed by the ancestral Puebloans, who built homes, storage granaries, and ceremonial spaces into the cliff walls. They grew crops like corn and beans, hunted game, and gathered wild plants. Some of their structures, like granaries tucked into high ledges, are still visible today, silent reminders of how people learned to thrive in this tough environment. Later, other Native American tribes such as the Havasupai, Hualapai, Navajo, Hopi, and Paiute made the canyon region their home. Many of them still live nearby today, maintaining cultural traditions and spiritual connections to the land. For these tribes, the canyon is more than a natural wonder, it is a sacred place, a source of stories, wisdom, and identity. European explorers first saw the canyon in the 1540s, but it wasn't until the 1800s that American explorers and scientists began to map it out. One of the most famous was John Wesley Powell, who led a daring expedition down the Colorado River in wooden boats in 1869. His journey was full of danger, with deadly rapids, towering walls, and unknown turns. Powell's maps and reports helped bring attention to the canyon's grandeur and mystery, inspiring further exploration and eventual preservation. Today, the Grand Canyon is a national park visited by about 5 million people each year. Most visit the South Rim, where the views are easy to reach and visitor centers explain the geology and history. The North Rim, which sits at a higher elevation, is cooler, quieter, and closed in winter due to snow. In fact, going from the river to the North Rim is like traveling from a desert to a mountain forest. The dramatic shift in elevation creates zones of completely different plants and animals. While many visitors only view the canyon from above, a few adventurous souls hike down into its depths or raft along the Colorado River. These journeys can be dangerous. Temperatures at the bottom can reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer, and dehydration is a serious risk. The river, too, is wild. Some rapids are so fierce that they have names like Lava Falls and Crystal Rapid, known for flipping rafts and challenging even expert guides. Yet for those who make the journey, the experience is unforgettable, an intimate encounter with nature's raw power. The Grand Canyon is also full of surprises. During monsoon season, sudden rainstorms can cause flash floods, turning dry-side canyons into violent rivers of mud and debris. Lightning strikes are common during these storms, echoing off the canyon walls in a dramatic show of sound and light. Yet, even during these intense events, life continues. Kit foxes raise their pups, relying on sharp hearing and speed to hunt. Prairie dogs issue alarm calls with astonishing detail. Researchers have discovered they can describe whether a threat is a hawk, a snake, or a human. As night falls, a new world awakens. Owls glide silently through the air. Bats come out to feed on insects. Mountain lions return to their kills. The moon rises, casting ghostly light across the rock walls. Stars fill the sky in a brilliant display, thanks to the low light pollution. For astronomers and stargazers, the Grand Canyon is one of the best places in the United States to see the Milky Way. Even after centuries of study, the Grand Canyon continues to hold mysteries. Scientists still debate its age, how it formed, and how it continues to evolve. New fossils are occasionally found, and climate change is now raising questions about how the canyon's ecosystems will adapt in the future. The Grand Canyon also continues to inspire artists, poets, and photographers, all trying to capture something that can never be fully described. In every way, the Grand Canyon is not just a place, it is a journey through time, a mirror of the planet's history, and a monument to the forces of nature. It teaches patience, awe, respect, and humility. Whether seen from a plane, the rim, or deep inside its walls, it reminds us that the Earth is alive, always changing, and always surprising. It is one of the few places that can truly leave you speechless. And even as it stands still in stone, the Grand Canyon continues to move people, generation after generation.